So morning, everybody. Thank you very much for coming along to today's meeting. And today I will be talking about direct mail. A lot of people think that direct mail's dead, but hey, I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. So I'll be going through the unlocking the power of AI. So it's using AI as well as then using it to help you with your direct mailing campaigns. So a little bit about us. Yay, Data Bubble. There's me and Steve that actually run Data Bubble. And as it happens, this year we are 15-year-old. Yay, which is fantastic. It's been quite a while that we've been working together. Steve tends to do the accounts bit and I tend to do the kind of customer service for marketing, sales and things like that. And I can't do any presentation without my beloved Rhodesian Ridgebacks. Yes, there's a picture there of them so that you can then have a look. But what they do is, yeah, they make me smile every single time. And yeah, they're just fantastic dogs. So today, as I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a talk about direct mail. So why use direct mailing in a world of digital marketing? Well, I don't know about you, but it's easy to go delete when you actually get an email through. But when was the last time you actually got something physical through the post? And I'm not talking about the kind of bills or your credit card statements, none of that rubbish. I'm talking about a letter. When was the last time you actually received a letter through the post? What did you do? You actually opened it. Did you read it? I bet you did actually, because let's face it, direct mail creates intrigue. It creates, it's something new. It's something different. So it really can create an impact. And that's why people do actually use direct mail to promote the business. It can be really targeted. You can really target your ideal client. You can tailor the message to that specific client. So it actually resonates with your ideal client. And what it is, it's a physical piece of information, physical piece of post that you can actually hold. And you know what? What I tend to find is that if you've actually sent it in business to business terms, if you've sent it to somebody, for example, if I'm targeting the marketing manager and there's another person that deals with it, they pass that piece of post onto the correct person. So it's not only just read by one person, it can actually be read by members of the team. So which means that it creates a high engagement rate. So it means that you can actually stand out from your competition. Because let's face it, who is actually doing direct mailing at the moment? So I hope you agree that direct mail isn't a thing of the past. It's not an old-fashioned medium. It can be a really good way to actually get your message out to your ideal client. So the first thing that you do in any good direct marketing campaign is identify your ideal client. And that's where creating a buyer persona comes in. A scattergun approach to marketing doesn't work when it comes to direct mail. You get so many letters. I've seen so many letters where it's a blanket message and it really doesn't resonate with any of the actual people that you're actually sending the information to. And so therefore they wonder why marketing direct mail doesn't actually work. But when it's really targeted and it's really resonates with your ideal client, it can really be a good force. And it means that it can be an engaging place. It can be an engaging piece of material. So it ensures that your message is actually relevant and engaging when you actually slice and dice when you actually know and understand your ideal audience. It allows you to create an understanding of that particular person that you're actually trying to target. You know their problems and how your products and services align and fit with their challenges and what it solves, what your product and service solves fits their challenges and pains. So you can actually then allow you to create a message that resonates with your ideal customer, which means that it's a better return on investment. So knowing all that information, first of all, is key when you're actually doing any marketing campaign. Right, so with regards to AI, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of prompts that I use. So why do I actually use AI? Well, I use it in my marketing, not only because it's quicker, I use it because it can actually create something that I've not thought about. It can actually give me inspiration, and it can come up with new offers and ideas that I've not actually thought about. So I use AI as an inspiration. It allows me to then tweak the information that I get back from AI. So I don't rely on 100%, but I can actually then tweak the outcomes and use it as a tool to help me with my campaigns. And what we do, first of all, is put in information about your business. So this is your first marketing prompt. And for me, all the marketing prompts start with this particular prompt. And it's details regarding your company. Your website, if you actually want to give your website details, it can actually glean information. AI can actually glean information from your website. What industry you work from, what services that you actually, what about more about your company, should I say? So how long it's been trading, what an overview of what you actually offer, and number of employees. That might be relevant for some people, might not be relevant. But hey, put it in there because then it can actually draw that information out. Key details with regards to your products and services. So list the features and the benefit of that particular product and services, and then your ideal target market and what they struggle with and what problems that they have. And again, the next one is the buyer persona prompt, which will also go into identify and coming up with more problems or more problems and challenges that they may actually have. So the next prompt is the buyer persona. So first of all, you put this particular prompt in, and then you get the results back, and then you put this particular prompt in. Again, act as my marketing director, marketing manager, to list 5 key answers to these questions. What are my ideal clients' goals and values? What are the hopes, dreams, and aspirations? What are the problems and the challenges? What fears they've got? What past failures they've actually had using my product? What keeps them up at night? Getting all this information allows you to create better information when you're actually putting into AI, and it gives you ideas and inspiration and a better understanding of your particular buyer persona, and gets really inside their mind that you might think, I didn't actually realize that that was a problem. Oh, I'm going to actually feature on that particular problem. So for example, for me, I actually did a prompt the other day. Again, using Data Bubble, we provide business data. And one of the prompts and challenges that people actually come up with was, well, they've got an old list and it's out of date. I've not actually thought about that. And sometimes that I then actually explored that and then created more social media posts, or I created a blog based on, actually, is your data out of date because your list is old? So it just gives you that little bit of prompt, and it gives you that little bit of inspiration. So when you're next doing a direct mailing campaign, you next think about the high quality of the data. Now, again, you can purchase a list, that's fine, a business to business list or a business to consumer list, but you've got to make sure that it's accurate and targeted. You've got to make sure that it's clean and up to date. Have you ever received a letter in the post and you next day, or you've received 2 letters in the post, that it just destroys that impact of that one letter that you've actually received? So getting a clean and up-to-date database is key. And again, if you've got an existing database that you actually want to clean to mail from your existing clients, make sure that you identify the deceased people or companies that have ceased trading. make sure that you exclude any duplicates, any companies or people that have gone away, they've moved address, so then you can actually obtain the new address. I were actually working with a charity, and they had their existing database. So again, they cleaned their existing database, and then they actually wanted to create another database. They wanted to buy another database of existing donors, of people that were interested in animal charities. So what they did is, to make sure that the impact was fantastic, they excluded records that were already in their existing clients from the data that they actually purchased, so that they then got maximum impact on their particular campaign. So data quality is the backbone of successful direct mailing campaigns. And then there's the importance of segmentation. So once you have got your data list, you then want to segment the data. And again, I was working with a printer. He wanted to do a campaign to target funeral directors, as well as then wedding organisations, to promote the fact that it does actually do order of services for funerals, as well as then order of services for weddings and printing for weddings. Now, the thing is, if he'd have sent the same message to them, both of them, two different people, it'd have been a disconnect, because the worst thing you could have done is got them mixed up. You don't want to send a funeral order service to a wedding company, or vice versa. So basically, that's the importance of segmenting your data, so that you can then create a message that's specific for that particular segment of company or industry that you actually want to target. Or again, business to business, you might turn around and say, right, okay, I want to target people that are homeowners. I want to target people with hobbies or interest, exactly like the animal charity. They wanted to target people that had an interest in animals that already exist. They were already interested and had an affinity with animals and protection of animals. So therefore, they were actually making sure that they segmented their data to make sure that they were being able to make sure that it's more targeted. And again, AI can actually help you. It can actually do that segmentation for you. Now, the next thing is creating your offer. Now, creating a good offer means that a compelling offer grabs your client's attention. It means that it's more likely to be engaging with you. And a strong offer can help you stand out from the crowd, stand out from your customers, and also stand out that you turn around and go, yeah, actually, I want that particular offer. It builds trust. It can also build credibility with your audience. And when your customers feel that they've got a really good deal, they've got a really good offer, then it makes them feel valued and more inclined to actually respond to you and become a loyal brand ambassador. And again, you also then create a sense of urgency with your offer, because it's time limited. It can be time sensitive. Now, I used to always struggle with coming up with an offer for Data Bubble. And in the past, I've thought, right, okay, what can I do? Get 10 records free. What else can I actually offer? Can I offer email marketing? Things like that. And I came across a book by Alex Hormizzi. I think that's how you pronounce it, and I do apologise if it's not. But it was an offer, and it's the $1 million offer. So I've had a play with AI, and I've had a play, and as I say, I love AI just to be creative, to think about it. And hey, I've come up with a little prompt that turns around and creates a irresistible offer. And it doesn't mean to say that you've got to use it, but what it does, it allows you to actually think differently. So I created with this one, again, acts as my skilled marketer, using the company information, using the buyer persona that you've created before to create up, and I've actually asked AI to create 5 compelling offers based on this book, and how you can actually make an offer that people just don't want to say no, or as it says there, feel stupid saying no. So again, review the offer, pick which one's good, which one's bad, which one you can work with, which ones you want to tinker with, which ones you want to really love. But it gives you inspiration, it gives you ideas. So that's the offer that I would actually do. And our offer is, Blessing's going to put the details in the chat, to actually book an appointment with us. Let's have a 30-minute call. Let's have a discussion with regards to your own marketing, your own outbound marketing. So that's our little offer. The next thing when it comes to direct marketing is creating a personalized message. Now, one message doesn't resonate with everybody. So, for example, I was working with a health and safety training company, and they actually wanted to target the managing director and the person that was in charge of health and safety within that company. Now, the same message can overlap, but the thing is, the message for the managing director was how much health and safety training impacts the well-being of the staff, and it's a legal requirement. Whereas the message for the health and safety manager was, rather than seeing it as a threat, it should focus on the training and the support that they can give that role. So therefore, it gives that support and role to the health and safety manager, rather than seeing it as a threat to the health and safety manager. Now, the thing is, what it does, it means that you're actually talking to that person, you're resonating, you're creating a message that resonates and connects with that particular person. So that's the reason why you actually want to do a personalized message, because you're sending it to an individual rather than speaking to the whole crowd. And again, you can look at your past, you can get insights from your past purchases. You can then look at your demographics of your clients. And I would always say create a personal message for each of your segmentation of your database that you're actually doing, and create a separate message for each of them. Not each, I'm talking about each. So therefore, if it's managing directors, it's the same message for the managing directors, like in the previous example, and the same messages for the health and safety. But you're actually making sure that you're resonating with that person. And again, this is where AI can actually help. You can actually ask it, again, using the information that you've actually provided. So it's using your buyer persona, it's using the company information, and using your offer. And I would like to create a letter that captures the reader's information. So the buyer persona is with regards to the individual person that you actually want to speak to. And again, the copywriting frame that I use for letters is Ada. And again, I always like to use experts who are actually in the field of direct marketing. And this is when I turn around and use the copywriting style of Dan Kennedy. Dan Kennedy is a fantastic direct marketing expert or guru that you can actually then tap into and get their insights. But using AI, you can actually make sure that you can actually use their insight. Now, again, if you've actually got another favourite copywriter, Joseph Sugarman or Donald Miller, for example, or again, Brian Tracy, these are great people that you can actually tap into and see what the difference in style is when it comes to AI. And as I say, I love playing around with it to make sure that it comes up with the tailored message that I want for my clients and that resonates with me. So I don't just use it verbatim, but I do actually play around with it to make sure that you've also got that it fits in with your style and your your professional tone or your tone of voice, etc. So with your direct mailing, you can actually be creative with your designs. And I went onto the internet, looked at a few creative designs, and yeah, that's on the next slide. So it will actually be, I'll give you some examples. But yeah, it can be imaginative. You can have fun with it. It can be eye-catching. It can be different, but make it memorable. And again, make sure that you actually have a call to action. So that could be a promotion code or a WhatsApp code, a QR code that links to a WhatsApp. So you can then follow and continue the conversation. So a strong call to action is a definite. So make sure that your design is creative. So let's have a look at a few designs that I came up with, that I have not come up with, that I've actually had a look on the internet. Now, I love the Kit Kat one because it does look like a direct mailing camp, a Royal Mail. Sorry, we couldn't deliver. And again, I love the fact that it says packet and it's too crunchy for your letterbox. Wow, fantastic. And again, if you actually have a look at the car one, the car envelope, great. It's showing the kit that it's a soft top that you can actually take the top off of your car to actually then show that it's a hard top or soft top. And again, I go back to the funeral, the printers with the funeral. He wanted to actually speak to the funeral directors to promote the fact that he could actually do order of services for clients. So therefore, what he did is he actually got some black envelopes and created a typeface that was then done in gold. So therefore, it looked very professional and unique for the funeral directors. But what it did, it stood out because it's black, but it was in keeping because it was black because of the funeral director. So that's where you can actually have a bit of fun as with direct mailing. And you know what, it's going to be more memorable if you've got something there that, like the Kit Kat one, makes you laugh, or again, funeral directors is applicable because it resonates with you as a funeral director. So the next one is multiple channels. Don't just use one channel. Don't just use a direct mailing campaign and then go, that's it. Always make sure that you follow up. Now, if you've got a business-to-business database, you can follow up with a telephone call. You can follow up with an email. You can also follow up with social media. Or again, make sure that you've got your QR code. Make sure that you don't miss anybody that comes onto your website. Have a chat box or have a clear call to action that turns around and says, right, okay, download this free ebook or lead magnet, so that you can then ensure that you capture further information and follow up. It just reinforces that message and increases your response rates. Again, for example, I'll give you an example. I was actually working with a care home, and they were turning around and doing direct mailing campaigns to actually promote their care home. What they did is that they targeted people that were over 50, and again, they turned around and put then a QR code for people to actually respond to. And it then brought up a WhatsApp so that they could then continue that conversation. And again, it allowed them to capture the information with more information, such as their mobile number, which they may not have actually had. So yeah, there's a great example of having a way of following up with your clients. Always measure your success. Make sure that you do actually check the people that are going on to using your QR codes. Make sure that or if you've actually got a personal landing page, then you do actually measure the promotion codes that are actually on there. Reason being is that you want to know the return on investment that you've got. You also need to be able to track it, to be able to then make sure that your campaign is actually working. Again, I was actually working with another, excuse me, I was actually working with another care home, and they turned around to me and says, well, we do direct mailing, and also we do radio advertisement, and we do a little bit of television advertisement in the Yorkshire area. And I says, well, which is working best for you? And they says, I don't know, we just have got the same telephone number and people phone up. And I says, well, do you know whether the radio's working? Do you know whether the direct mailing's working? Do you know whether the telephone's working? And they didn't actually know. So I do stress that it is really important to have a different telephone number for if you're doing telephone or radio, you know, from radio to direct mail. So therefore you then can actually capture the full information, and you can actually track the success of your campaign, because at the end of the day you want to know how successful your campaign has actually been. So the key takeaway parts is embrace your creativity with direct mailing. It's constantly evolving, and it allows you to stay ahead. If you do actually stay ahead, it allows you to be create different designs, different formats. So experiment with it and be creative. Don't be afraid to try something new. It's about testing and measuring. A lot of marketing is about testing and measuring. Start off small. You know, 50 records or 100 records of your existing customers. Test and measure to make sure that you do actually resonate with the right message, and again with the right designs. Get feedback from your existing clients or people that have actually made an inquiry. You know, ask them. At the end of the day, they can turn around and give you their feedback to make sure that your results are better. And yeah, my advice is get creative with your direct mailing, and it can be a really good format to stand out from the crowd. So that's me, Data Bubble. As I always say, all good marketing starts with a great data. So if you do actually need any help with data cleaning, or again, any data lists, by all means, use the link that's actually in the message box. Book an appointment with me. Let's have a chat, and I'll open up the floor now for any questions. So I do see that it's. So yeah, perfect. Somebody turned around and says, the slides are great. Will you get a copy of them? Yeah, of course, John. Yeah, not a problem. I can also send you a copy of the slides. And if you also want, I can also send you details with regards to the prompts that you actually want, because it gives you just that little bit of information with regards to the prompts as well. Another question that I often get asked is, what's the average response rate for a direct mailing campaign? Now, with regards to the Direct Marketing Association, they turn around and say it's between 3 and 4%. So I will be honest with you, if you're selling something that's £1, then it's going to be quite expensive to do, because when you actually factor in the postage, as well as then the print, as well as then the direct mailing, then yeah, it's actually going to be quite a costly expense. However, if you're selling something that's 500 or £1,000, or you're selling coaching that's £2,000 per month, then a direct mailing campaign can really resonate with your ideal clients. And if you actually get a 3 or 4% 3 or 4% conversion rate, then it can be really beneficial. And again, I'm honest with people. I'll turn around to them and say, right, okay, how much is your ideal client? How much is it worth? And what's the lifetime value? If that lifetime value is a one-off £1, then they'll turn around and say, don't do direct mailing. But if that lifetime client is worth £1,000 or £10,000, then yeah, direct mailing can actually work. So yeah, that's one of the questions that I do get asked quite often. So I'll open up the floor. Any more questions? No? No problem, that's fine. So I hope you've enjoyed today's session. There will be a recording that comes out, as well as then I will actually send the slides, as well as then a copy of the posts that the prompts that I actually use. So if there's no more questions, then brilliant. Yeah, somebody said stunned into silence. Thanks, John. I hope it's been stunning. Brilliant.